listening to the MMA Brothers Podcast, coming to you from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Your source for UFC news, previews, and post-fight coverage. Hosted by your favorite duo, Darren and Asher. Let's get it started.
Hello guys, and welcome back to MMA Brothers Podcast. It's Darren.
It's Asher, and today we have another. And today we got another guest with us. He's been on the podcast. His name's Gethin. Gethin, how are you doing?
I'm good, boys. How are you two? You all right?
Yeah, we're all good. How is it over there in the UK?
It's not too bad. It's getting cold now. Getting cold.
I used
to enjoy the cold weather, but not anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with COVID and everything. How's that going down in the UK?
So England are back in lockdown, but Wales and Scotland are not. I think I'm right in saying that. So I'm currently working over in Wales.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm allowed to go to Wales to work, but I can't go to Wales to see my family. So, but if they come to my work, I can see them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's confusing.
That is, extremely confusing. But go ahead. Sorry, continue.
I'd say it's good. It's been busy. But I think hopefully going into next year we can all move away from this COVID thing and keep moving forward. To be honest, yeah.
No, for sure. That's good. Asher, you gonna say something?
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say. So, what kind of I don't understand that lockdown, because before, like when we had these lockdowns, it meant that like literally no one is allowed to leave the country unless obviously it's maybe for like military purposes or something extreme. People are allowed to come in the country. Let's just say you're out in a different place in Europe and then you're saying, hey, I want to fly back to my home. You're allowed to do that. It's just leaving because that's how like the whole Tony and Khabib fight fell apart, because Khabib was in Russia and then Russia went into lockdown. Then Khabib was like, I can't leave Russia. Like I'm stuck here, right?
Yeah,
so you're saying that you can go to Wales for visiting family, but not for work?
No, I can go to work, but not visiting family.
Oh, sorry, opposite. So you can go to work, but you can't visit family, which to me doesn't. I guess work has more economic benefits, so maybe that's why. But family, like, nah.
So I mix with more people in work. So it's yeah.
Wow. And did they mention how long this lockdown is going to be for?
Until 2nd of November. 2nd of December, the England one. But Wales came out of it last week. So it's like the first time, really. So all retail and everything, unless there's essential shops and stuff, it's all closed. Restaurants, pubs, everything's closed. Unless you can do takeaways. So it's very similar to what we had in April and March, May, or whatever. Well, whenever it was, I think it was that end of March first happened. So England have gone back to that. Wales did it last 2 weeks ago. I think Scotland have had a thing of doing it as well. But yeah, it's one of them. You can talk conspiracy about it. You can talk.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's another conversation. To be honest with you, it's just a bit. I don't know where to stand with it. I just wanted to move away from it and carry on and get all the shows back. I mean, get the fans back in the arenas. That's what we want.
Exactly. Get the entertainment back and get everyone back to being happy, enjoying themselves. Speaking on being back to being happy, to walk us through your current challenge that you have on Instagram for those who aren't aware of it.
So when we first announced lockdown, I was thinking, right, last lockdown was tough. This one's going to be a lot more difficult for people who potentially going to be home on their own with not much daylight, cold weather. I mean, it's dull. It's not. I mean, the last lockdown, you can sit in the garden, have a few beers. You can have a little paddling pool. I mean, you can go out or go for a bike ride, and you can spend all day out. But now it's cold. It's dark. So I was going to do a 4-week plan. And I was going to go through cooking tutorials. Going to bring as many people together as we could. And then in a few days, I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I had a fair few people on it, and I thought, I'm going to give everything back to them and go, right, I'm going to do a free challenge and get more people involved. because that's what people want. They want to be in part of something. They want other people to support them. So that's what I did. I just decided to go, you know what, and it's only a couple of weeks, but it covers most of the lockdown. And the group will carry on after. Do you know what I mean? If they want to keep talking to each other as they're doing now, the group will still be there until the end of lockdown, really. And I just want to give people a bit of an insight of how little changes in their life can, over the 12 days, can make a big impact. And I mean, some people messaged me the other day saying that they lost a couple of pounds here and there, and which is great. And I'm expecting big results from some people. I mean, they're dedicated, and it's also keeping them occupied. And that was the biggest thing, was keeping, especially the mental health aspect.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest thing at the moment, and I couldn't. I mean, I'm quite lucky. I live with my girlfriend, so if I was to live on my own and in lockdown, not allowed to, like, for example, not allowed to go and see my family over in Wales, I think it'd be difficult. So I've just wanted to bring everyone together and do a little challenge and put an element of fun into it. I mean, as we are losing weight, and some people are gaining weight, getting into better mindset, get better body position. Doing it, so I just wanted to get everyone a bit together in that.
Yeah, it's interesting because like during the pandemic, when like all the lockdowns were taking place, I was someone that gained weight during the pandemic, and it was very hard for me to lose weight. So I can only imagine some of the people that are doing this challenge with you. It must be extremely difficult for them to do it, especially during lockdown, because you're not as active as you once were before. You're not going out, walking places, or going to work and stuff. So that makes it difficult. And so I guess also in terms of the nature of your work, right? Like you said you're going to work right now. So are you working as a chef for a restaurant? Like what kind of work are you doing right now? And why are those restaurants open during the lockdown?
So so I'm working part-time, helping in a restaurant with Christmas coming and people on holidays, because we've been on furlough, then on holidays. So I was just covering a couple of weeks here. So that's why I've just finished, because the restaurants in Wales, they're allowed to open. But it's literally just over the border. So the restaurants that they have in England are all closed, but they're obviously open. And I mean, as I say, it's very busy. I think we had about 350 booked all day today.
Oh wow!
So I mean, it was good numbers. It was busy. And as I say, I've only just come home now, so it's a good 40-minute drive.
So do you drive from England to Wales and back every single day when you go to work?
Just when I work, yeah. It's only over the border. I say it's only half an hour, 40 minutes from where I live, so it's not too bad.
I didn't know Liverpool. Did Liverpool borders Wales?
Not far. I say it's about half an hour, and it's literally just over the border, so it's quite close.
Oh, interesting.
I'm in the bottom bit, so it's just round the loop, if you get me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're going to switch to some UFC news now. So for those who don't know, Gethin has been a nutritionist for the likes of Darren Till and other fighters. So unfortunately, we got the news that Darren would not be fighting Jack Hermanson due to his injury. So I guess, I'm sure you're disappointed with that news, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm gutted for him. Because I think that's a good fight. That's a good fight. I mean, if you're a neutral into MMA, that's a good fight. But I think time doing to heal and everything, I think it's a good call. But I can only just imagine doing, if he doesn't fight Jack this time round, then he's got to be fighting the top boys again. I mean, who's left? You stay at the top three, don't you?
I think he gets Jared. I think you got to give him Jared.
Come on,
he smokes Jared. Oh,
come on! Right, look at the Whittaker Jared fight.
Listen. It's the game plan from Jared that was off, right? He didn't execute it. If you look at it, he was killing Rob with those leg kicks, but he didn't keep Because the thing, when you go with the leg kick tactic, you have to batter them to the point where the dude has to switch stances. And I felt that he was letting him off the hook. He'd land a vicious leg kick, give him time to recoup, then another one. If you watch Justin Gaethje's fights or any other heavy leg kicker, Barboza, when their game plan is specifically leg kicks, you're in for a hell of a night. Rob got bailed out by a lack of output by Jared. If Jared, in the first 2 rounds, decided to eat strikes and just pepper those legs, 3rd round, Rob's not going to be able to do his hoppy, doocy-do, whatever he does, and bounce off of his feet, because it also limits Rob's 1-2 combo, right? He throw a jab, a cross, make you lean, and then he comes up with a kick, right? If you batter that lead leg, he's not throwing any high kicks. So that's what I was super disappointed. Does that mean Darren doesn't beat him? No, Darren could very well beat him. He's one of my favorite fighters. But I don't think it's a cakewalk like you think it is.
Can I add one more thing to that? Remember, Robert Whittaker broke his arm when he blocked one of his kicks. So in the first round, I think Kennedy was saying that Robert Whittaker threw a high kick, and then there's a picture of his arm super swollen. That. So if that arm wasn't broken, who knows? But then again, it's MMA. He threw that head kick and he blocked it. And he broke his arm, so that's his fault.
You can also say if the knee of Till. Do you know what I mean? It's the game of what ifs. Do you know what I mean? But
exactly,
I do think Darren does beat Jared. And do you know what? I don't think Whittaker will want the fight again. I honestly don't think. I might be a little bit biased. But
a little.
We are biased, Gethin. It's okay. Both of us are.
But do you know what? I just think that was too close of a fight for Whittaker to go, do you know what? I'll do it again. But if he does and beats him again, then fair enough. 2-0. But do you know what I mean?
He didn't have an answer for the leg kicks, though. That front teep kick, Darren was just eating him. I'm like, Darren, check it. Move, evade. Because Rob's whole plan, he knows in a straight technical stand-up bout, without battered legs or, messed up knee ligaments, Darren's probably going to outpoint him. Darren's a really good point fighter. He's also, I think he hits harder than Rob. Up for debate, because Rob doesn't 1 KO power people. It's usually like accumulation of strikes. Darren can sleep you with 1 strike, right?
Yeah, that left hand is lethal.
Yes, it's a sniper. He's like a big Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? In terms of yeah, exactly, right?
No, I'm joking. But talking on MMA then, Paul Felder.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
Right, so what if, right? I love the what ifs in MMA. What if Paul Felder does a Masvidal, smokes him 5 seconds in, throws a flying knee, jumps over, headphones on, commentates it on replay, the instant replay.
Or what if after the flying knee, Paul Felder puts the headphones on, interviews himself. Hey, so what did you think about the fight? Oh yeah, the fight was pretty good.
You know what? Massive credit, Paul Felder. And you know what? If he wins, he's the king. He loses. I'm pretty sure it's your Instagram post I saw. He's the king of losing in split decisions.
Oh, it wasn't me that posted that, but yes, I agree. He's lost a lot of split decisions, which is unfortunate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does he beat Rafa? It's a great fight. Listen, I'm all up for that fight. I'm all up for December as well. Now Amanda Nunes is now.
Because McGregor's gonna fill it in December.
It's in January that he's fighting, not December.
No, but the reason I'm saying that
yesterday that Poirier signed the January contract yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, it's not happening in December because Poirier is signed for January. Is it 23rd or something?
23rd.
Yeah. You can sign all you want. All I'm saying is a title fight bout has opened up. McGregor wanted to fight at the end of this year so he can get a jump on the title next year. Yes, it is in January, but if you increase it by a month, it's not like Dustin and Conor cut a lot of weight to get to 155. Right?
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think it is rumors circulating that Conor could fill that void because who else are you going to put there? That's a title fight, right? So you need someone who's very big name, who's going to take it, who's already been training for someone, right? Book them at that time. Otherwise, who else is going to go there?
I would love to see Tony versus Michael Chandler.
Yeah, but I don't think Tony's taking anything other than the interim or for a title. Because if I'm Tony, the one time, he takes a short notice fight, he ends up losing his 12-fight win streak against one of the worst matchups for Tony in the division.
Yeah, because the only other person really the only other belt you can put on that is a light heavy on that card. Do you know what I mean?
True.
And I don't think Jan will fight yet. I don't think Stylebender's going to fight yet. Do you know what I mean? It's a month to the day.
Yeah, and I think that Stylebender's not taking a short notice fight against Jan Blachowicz. That would be the most ill-advised thing you could possibly do because you're not going to get enough time to prepare for him, and he hits like a truck. So
I don't know who they'll fill that in, and as I say, it's a big card. It's a 256. I'm right, 256, 257.
256 is next month, and 257 is the McGregor card in January. Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? It's not like it's a fight night where you can put, you know what I mean, the lower ranks in. You've got to fill, especially a main event. And I don't know who you'd put on. I really haven't got a clue. I mean, you could probably go into the fantasy of anyone doing a little Royal Rumble, just throw them in
there. Yeah, no, you're right. I think it's going to be one of the lightweight contenders because that's the only thing that makes sense, right? If I was Dana, I say the fight, whoever steps up, the two lightweights that step up and fight on this December card to replace it is going to have the title fight with the winner of the McGregor-Dustin match in January, right? So if I'm the matchmaker, Tony deserves it, Chandler deserves it, so does Justin Gaethje, but he just lost the title, and it was not close whatsoever.
No.
So you give it, I would say, you give Tony, Michael Chandler, because Tony's always ready. You know what I'm saying? Tony stays ready.
Tony's an animal.
Right, and he fights everyone the same way. So you give him Chandler, and then the winner of Tony Chandler faces the winner of Dustin Connor for the title. That's the least path of resistance. That winner faces Justin Gaethje for a rematch for the title. That's the way I see it happening. Because if you're Justin, what, do you fight Michael Chandler? Even though you just got, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be the same exact fight as Khabib, except Chandler is nowhere near as good as Khabib, but he's very, very similar. You know what I mean? In his fighting style. So
you're right. Gaethje did say that he would just need a couple weeks to rest and he'd be right back at it because he didn't really take much damage against Khabib. Yeah, he got choked out, but like he could come back very quickly.
Earlier.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, so last time you were in the podcast, you had mentioned that you had some news, but you didn't want to break it. Do you have the possibility of breaking some news now, or you still can't say anything?
I was hoping to, and I spoke to the person today, which is quite ironic, and it's been pushed back a little bit further. So, unfortunately, I can't announce anything. But back on the subject we were talking about with the Gaethje and that, do you think Khabib is the all-time pound-for-pound MMA?
No. I think it's either John Jones or it's GSP for number one pound for pound. You know why? If you look at who they beat, right? Yeah. Yes, Khabib has beat everyone in front of him.
Before you continue, there's a difference between pound for pound and greatest of all time. So we're talking about pound for pound here, right?
Let's go greatest of all time.
Okay.
Let's go.
Greatest of all time. Their peak was unmatched by anyone else. You gotta go John Jones. You know why? He beats you at your own game. What, you're a striker? He'll mash you with those bows on your feet. You're a wrestler? DC, eat this head kick, then I'll finish you on the ground. Right? He even took down DC, something that no one else does, right? Lyoto Machida, pretty sure he choked him out on the feet. Lyoto's a black belt, right? He's beaten the top guys at the peak of their career, and he was like 21, 22. He wasn't a seasoned MMA prospect since he was a kid. He joined MMA at like 19 or 20. I think his first pro fight was in the UFC. John Jones. I'm not 100% sure of that.
He had a couple pro fights before the UFC, but yeah, he was raw coming into the UFC for sure.
Like very, very low like Khamzat Chimaev probably has more experience than John Jones when he first entered the UFC. You know what I'm
What do
saying?
you think of his hype train?
Oh, if
Khamzat?
Oh,
Yeah.
If Leon Edwards doesn't get him out in the first round, I don't know how that fight goes, man. Because Khamzat is a dog, man. He's an absolute dog. So I don't know.
You know, that's a do you know what? I credit Leon Edwards for taking it because it's a high risk, low reward. If you beat an unranked person, then it's just an. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's got a rank.
He was promised the title fight after. If he beats
Khamzat, sorry, if Leon beats Chimaev, he's just beaten someone who hasn't got rank. Do you know what I mean? That don't get me wrong, he is unbelievable and he is like, but it's a low reward for him because you beat him. He doesn't actually go any higher in the rankings. He's not beating Kobe or Masvidal or Gilbert, but he's not beating anyone above him. He's just beating someone. Why not take this Wonderboy to fight then?
No, because beating Wonderboy doesn't mean you're ready for a title. But beating Chimaev, they guaranteed him a title shot next, right? If he gets through Chimaev, Dana White, and I think he said it's in his contract because I watched his interview with Ariel, and they said in his contract, if he gets through Khamzat Chimaev, he's gonna fight for the title next. Because keep in mind, they removed him from the rankings because he hadn't fought in 1 year, right, or something like that. So they removed him from the rankings. You're supposed to fight Tyron, fight gets canceled. Then they think they offered him. I can't remember who else.
He wouldn't be ready.
Yeah.
Someone else he said he wouldn't be ready for that as well. Yeah.
Imagine getting a title fight in short notice against one of the guys who's almost never lost. He's only lost like 2 rounds in his whole UFC career. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want that. Take that fight on 3 weeks. So come on, guys. Yeah. Cut Leon some slack. No one wants to. But
no. But yeah,
plus
again,
right now,
that's where you get your gangster status, isn't it? You're like, yeah, go on, get over there and do it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that's what you're there to do. You know what I mean? You get that phone call, you're like, yeah, go on, let's do it. You ring your coach, you're like, come on, let's go over. And that's why a lot of fighters should be weight ready. Do you know what I mean? They should be within distance of their weight at all times because that phone call can change your life. Like, can you imagine if Chimaev gets a phone call and he's, let's say, before his UFC, and he gets look at is it Rhys McKee, Northern Ireland? I'm right in thinking Northern Ireland. He gets a phone call on 7 days' notice from Cage Warriors to go to the UFC. Imagine if he wasn't anywhere near his weight. He misses out, and he don't get me wrong, he got absolutely smoked. But he's fighting again this weekend, and I wish him all the best, as well as Corey McKenna. She's fighting this weekend, the Welsh, and I wish them both all the best. I hope they get a number on him. But you know what I mean? Regardless if he didn't, I don't think I think he fought Chimaev, didn't he?
McKee? I don't know why that sounds very familiar.
Well, yeah, that's what are you asking if Rhys McKee fought Chimaev?
Yeah, first fight.
Yeah. That was
he's
his first and second fight in the UFC. I think it's his second fight in the UFC. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a stand-up striker. He's really
he
good
got messed
striker,
up.
but he got.
I remember that.
He got messed up.
And do you know what I mean? Can you imagine if he, regardless of the results, imagine if he wouldn't have took that fight? How far back he's been pushed. He's been given respect because he took the fight. Now he's given a second opportunity. Listen, I hope he goes through it and does well. But it's just like, I mean, I don't know if I'm on the Chimaev train yet. I want him, if he smokes Leon, then yeah, well done. But if he doesn't, then I'll be like, was it too early? Have they pushed him too early? Because I mean, that does happen quite often where the UFC do push these fighters a little bit too early. And if you can hold the pressure and do the numbers on these top 10, 15 guys, then you deserve to be up there.
Like an example is like Edmund Shabazian. Like they threw him Derek Brunson way too soon, and look at how that turned out, right? So I think Chimaev is the real deal. I think like he's gonna give Edwards a fight, because when you look at like his highlights, like from his feet, I know Edwards is obviously a more seasoned professional compared to Chimaev, but I don't know. What is that fight happening, by the way? It's not happening next month, is it?
19th, week after 256.
Oh my, yeah. So it's literally just about a month away. So
Yeah, I saw footage of Shimaev sparring with Gustafsson in Sweden.
When he
and
dropped him.
drops him, yeah. And Gustafsson's a heavyweight. Like, I mean, is a body shot he catches him with, and he puts it. And I'm like, I mean, he must be carrying some weight with him. I mean, some power behind him. I mean,
No, I think he got him with the teep kick, or I don't know if it was a hook. It might have been a kick. I'm not 100% sure.
For a hook, yeah.
Yeah, but he dropped Gustafsson. Gustafsson, hey, yo, oh my God! And then Gustafsson was, reaping his praise. But who do you have in this weekend's main event? Who do you think is going to take it, Felder or RDA?
I'd like to say Paul Felder. I really would love to see him win it.
And I think he gets it done by TKO because Paul's got those hands. I remember Paul's last fight, the guy who he hit, I said, how is this guy still standing?
Dan Hooker?
Oh, yeah. My God. I was like, Hooker, man, go down, bro. He ended up squeaking the decision, but like
Hooker's chin is something else, man.
It's granite.
What do you think, right? So now the lightweight division is just unreal at the moment. What do you think about doing a Grand Prix?
No,
the UFC would never do it because it just smells like Bellator, and they're like, we want nothing to do with that company.
But just think of it like football terms. So number 1, Conor McGregor fighting number 4, Michael Chandler. Can you imagine just out of a hat, everyone ready on weight, and then you just go in, don't know who you're fighting. Can you just imagine that?
No, because the fighters would just be like, oh my God, am I fighting a wrestler? Am I fighting a striker? That would drastically affect.
All-round fighter. We'll see who's got it.
Exactly.
I love these fantasies.
Exactly.
I was going back to McGregor and Poirier. This is what I wanted to say earlier, actually. So apparently the reason they're staying in January is because they want it back in Fight Island. It was
okay.
And if I'm right, that will mean fans.
Probably.
If I'm right, it's already been broken into the social medias before I announce anything. So it would make sense for McGregor to be the one bringing the fans back, would it not?
In Dubai.
In Dubai,
or in Abu Dhabi or whatever.
Abu Dhabi,
yeah.
But it would make sense, and I think COVID restrictions there are really good. So, you know what? I think bringing the fans back.
No,
how that's going to work. Because that's going to be super interesting. Is it going to just be like Abu Dhabi fans, or are people going to be allowed to fly into Fight Island? Because like
I don't think so.
Yeah. I think it just might be the fans like locally, not allowing people from different countries to fly in, because that would be crazy.
Imagine,
yeah,
it'd be good, wouldn't it?
But how does that make you feel, knowing that, like, this talk about the vaccine coming end of this year or early next year, and obviously you're working with fighters, like your reality of maybe being part of a fight camp, like during fight week at a Fight Island or in Vegas or something, that could be happening sooner rather than later. So are you excited for that possibility?
You know what? I was kind of half expecting the vaccine question. Because there's such a left and a right. I mean, there's no real in between. But I do find I'm at the in between. If it brings back in normality in life, and we can move on, and this X, Y's, and Z's, and we can go to Vegas for a Fight Island. Fight Island, and you can have that. Then you know what? I'm all up for it myself. A lot of people disagree, and that's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm not a politician. I'm not a scientist, or I've not. But I miss going to fights, and I miss doing the excitement of. So if you look, I think it would have been 2 years ago. When McGregor got the double champ belt. It was to the day, wasn't it? Is it 4 years ago today, or 6 years ago today, or something?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years ago today. Yeah.
When he comes out to Foggy Dew in that, imagine being in that arena again, when that all happens, and like,
that atmosphere.
We've had terrible year. What's going on? Imagine just looking forward to being able to go. I'm looking forward to going back to the arena. The excitement is going to go higher than the last time, because I think people are going to be putting on bigger shows, bigger events because of what's happened this year, to give a bit back. And personally, if it means all that, I'm up for it, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of people will say, that's right in the other. About microchipping and stuff like that. Listen, I've got my phone. If someone wants to locate where I am, I'm not going to.
Exactly.
The government knows where we are. The government can find me any single time they want to. Credit cards, whatever, location on your phone, GPS, they know where you are.
The likelihood of there being a microchip in something the size that goes through a needle that is so small, like, you get that mass produced to every single country on some global database. I'm a conspiracy guy, but that one myself, I'm like, okay, it might be going off kilter, right? So,
because to start, don't get me wrong, I've read a lot into it and stuff like that, and I have started believing a lot of the conspiracies and stuff. And it's not I'm saying I don't believe them because they're conspiracies, so you can't never not believe. I mean, it's the mind wants to believe sometimes. So, I'm a bit on the fence with it. I'm just like, if it means me going back to normality and being happy. Yeah, I'd say I'd love to go to Vegas and do a fight week there. I think, or MSG is the one I'd love to. But I'd also love to experience fighting, and so I'm up for it, to be honest. Yeah, if it means going over and doing what I love doing, so yeah.
No, that's good. Are you working tomorrow morning?
Not until the afternoon. So.
Okay, because I didn't want to keep you up too late because we know there's a huge time zone difference.
We're all right. As long as you two have got questions and we've got discussions, we're all right.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. I mean, you never know where the road will lead you, but like maybe one day we'll be in Vegas or in England or in probably not Abu Dhabi. I don't think we're gonna be there, but like you never know. Down the road, we'll be like, hey, Gethin, man, what's up? We may end up meeting in person, so we'll see.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go back to be able to go to events really more than anything. It's just one of them. You get excited, because I was supposed to go to the London card. I was as a fan just watching. Because this was before I really got into nutrition, because I only started my business in April properly. So, I was taking I promised my little brother if he did well in school, I'd take him to the next UFC event in the UK. He decided to smash all his results in school. Absolutely everything. And
that's good motivation.
I was like, and obviously Till was headlining against Woodley. No, it wasn't. It was Edwards versus Woodley. Sorry, that was the main card. And Tom was fighting on it, and Grundy were both fighting on it as well. So it was quite a close thing. Like, we know Tom, we know Mike. All excited. And I remember I went to pick him up on the Wednesday, because we were going to go over and see them all on the we're going to go pop over on Thursday, and on the Wednesday night it got cancelled.
That's brutal.
So as I say, I've got a promise to keep now, and got to take him to the next event tonight. So it's one of them.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I have one more question for you. So, in terms of Glover Teixeira just beating the brakes off of Thiago Santos in the last main event, do you think Glover should get the next title shot, or should Israel Adesanya get the next shot?
Give him that shot.
Him being Glover?
Yeah, of course. The man's at 40. Give him a shot. Do you know what I mean? He's dedicated his life to the MMA. He's dedicated. I mean, he deserves. I just think that Izzy has got years left.
No, but Gethin, come on, brother. One of them's 20-0, the middleweight champ, and then if he wins that fight, he's fighting John Jones for potentially the biggest fight in UFC history. Why would you delay that?
Because you said three things there. If he wins twice, you said if he wins. Listen, Jan's a monster.
That got KO'd by Thiago Santos.
Yeah, of course. But I just think give Teixeira his fight, because what's going to happen is if Jan fights Izzy beats Jan, let's say, he's going to take the belt, run that way, okay? Because he's going to want to fight Jones 100%, which I agree. And you know what? They should be the Ultimate Fighter coaches. 100%. Ultimate Fighter, throw both of them in it. But I think give him the shot. Give him that shot. Do you know what I mean? And Izzy and Jones doesn't have to be for a belt. people are going to tune in if it's not for a belt or for a belt.
It means more if it's for a belt, though, because if Izzy can get middleweight, lightweight, and then heavyweight title, we gotta say Adesanya is the greatest of all time in MMA. Like there's no other. He beats the GOAT. He's got 3 belts. No one's done what he's done. There's no. I mean, you know what I mean? That's history versus an old man getting his shot at a title. Like, are we gonna be sentimental here, or we want to see the big things? You know what I mean?
Does Izzy get the 3rd belt, let's say, before McGregor gets the 3rd belt?
Oh, 100%. I think McGregor's quest to get the 170 belt is the biggest challenge, especially if Kamaru Usman is still champ. Yeah. I just cannot see McGregor knocking out Usman. It's just not happening because Usman would just grapple McGregor as soon as the fight started, and just like it would not be pretty. But what were you gonna say?
No, I 100% agree with you. But some people think, Conor's done what he's done and doing. I'm really looking forward to seeing which Conor turns up against Poirier, because listen, Poirier's improved, man. He was on a ridiculous streak until he lost to Khabib, and you know what? I think Poirier's hungry. I don't know if Conor is as hungry as what Poirier will be for that fight. But as I say, apparently the fight's at 155, which is brilliant again. I mean, I think it'd be pointless if they were going for the 155 belt and they're both weighing in at 170. I think it'd be a bit given the 155. I mean, discredit, to be honest, that they're cutting all this weight and fighting at the right weight, and then all of a sudden, do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Who do you think the Ultimate Fighters coaches should be?
I agree with you. I think Izzy and Jones. What do you think, Asher?
I would agree with that too. I don't really see anyone with enough beef that like maybe that doesn't have to be beef. They could just be like whatever, like 2 fighters that are gonna end up fighting for a title soon. But like I think Jones and Izzy's is a good one.
What about Till and Mike Perry?
That would just be them trolling each other for the whole time. Like, wouldn't even be like, I don't know. It would be silly. The views would be cool.
Do you know what I mean? Because, mate, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the banter would be tough.
About Till doing the GoFundMe, it's been Perry's corner.
Mike Perry, man, what a character. I don't know if he's gotten the help that he needed, because he did mention that like he was gonna get checked in for some stuff because he's got some issues. So hopefully he's got those resolved.
Sparring with Romero now, and he's moving up to 185.
Oh, is he?
He's posting photos of him sparring with Romero and stuff like that. So if he means it, then you know what I mean?
He's gonna get KO'd. He's not the biggest dude. He's gonna get KO'd viciously at 185.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. That it's going to be I think it'll be a quick fight, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reach would just be too much for Perry to deal with. Don't be wrong. Don't we remember the injury with his nose, and he wanted to carry on then. So he's no pushover, but if he goes to sleep, then he's not going to get up until after the referee's obviously stopped it. So I think it's a different sort of fight, but I think that'd be great I don't know if UFC are waiting for the Poirier Conor to maybe put Conor against Tony or someone on the Ultimate Fighter. I don't know. Are they?
Tony's too crazy to put him on the Ultimate Fighter. He wouldn't. Some days he wouldn't want to talk. Some days he would. You know what I mean? Like Tony does his own thing.
What about putting TJ back on it, because his suspension has been lifted?
He's a cheater.
TJ and Cody again.
Yeah, TJ has TJ could fight. There's a lot of good fighters for him. There's Cruz. There's
January.
Yeah, he comes back at some point in January. Probably by the end of January, he'll be eligible to return. I'm surprised they haven't booked a fight for him yet, because he needs at least 2 months notice. But maybe it might be a short thing. Maybe he's training right now, ready for an opponent, and they're just gonna say, "Oh, TJ's fighting this guy in January." It's like, "Oh, cool." I think it might be Cruz, or it might be like a Frankie Edgar or something like that. I don't think they're gonna throw him like Corey Sandhagen or someone like that. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
What fights do you want to see in 2021? what would be like, the top 3 ultimate like fancy fights, like proper fights?
I actually gave up on Tony and Khabib. I don't care to see that anymore because I don't want to waste my energy getting hyped for something that's not going to happen. Jones versus Adesanya would be one I'd want to see. Jones versus Miocic as well is another one I'd want to see. And then McGregor versus actually no. I want to see because McGregor versus whoever, I don't really care because I've already seen McGregor versus Khabib. I would like to see that rematch though. I want to see Chimaev versus Usman. That one would be cool to see. Chimaev versus Usman would be dope.
Ooh, that's a,
Yeah,
that's
I have the
wrestlers.
same. I have the same 3 picks. You know, like I don't really have much to add. Like Usman versus Chimaev. Do I think Usman gets through him? Yeah, because you know I've never seen anyone take down Marty. Never. You know what I'm saying? And the dude is juiced to the gills. He's definitely on EPO. He doesn't get tired. You know, he doesn't even run, and he doesn't get tired. He said that he does pool work, and this guy's the best
Who's
cardio in the
sorry,
UFC.
who are you saying there?
He's
Usman.
talking about Usman. He said that
Oh, right,
Usman
sorry,
doesn't
yeah,
go for
go
a
on.
run. He doesn't get cardio in by running. He only just swims, which is insane to think. It's like, how are you that jacked if you don't run? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but who's
no,
your top 3?
you know, I'd love to see McGregor versus Chandler. Izzy Till, obviously doing that. That's one I'd love to see. I think that's a great matchup. Stand-up fight. I mean, tactical. It'd be very similar to Wonderboy tactical chess match. Yeah, and I'd probably go with Izzy versus Jones. I think that'd be number 1 though. Izzy Jones side. I mean,
It's
I'd love to
happening.
see that.
It's happening. We're manifesting. We're throwing it out.
I
in
think
the
it's
universe.
gonna happen.
It's happening.
It
It's gonna
has
I
happen.
mean, Stipe Francis is happening in March, and then after that, so the winner of that fight will not have an opponent, and I can see them fighting in 2021. So Jones is just gonna have to wait for the winner of that fight, and that's pretty much is gonna be his heavyweight debut, right? So, and then I mean, if that's being the case, then I don't know if Izzy and Jones will happen in 2021 because like I don't think. Maybe Jones will fight twice in 2021. I'm not sure, but things are looking good for next year. Fans are going to be back. There's going to be a lot of like big cards and stuff like that. So it's going to be an exciting time to be an MMA fan again, or just to be a human being again in general.
Yeah, and I'll say I can't wait to see Tom Aspinall getting up them ranks. He'll have a number next to his name by the end of the next year.
Oh yeah, no, Tom's a really good fighter. I've loved what I've seen from him. Very, very promising guy.
Yeah, I say I'm really looking forward to seeing what I say. He's only a young lad. I mean, he's 27 now, I think. Well, same age as Darren. He's 27 as well. I think he's 27, 28. Do I mean very young? If you're looking at the Teixeiras and do I mean? I mean, there's another 13, 14 years difference there.
Yeah,
you show how long some people's years are because Romero says he's gonna fight to his 51. So it's just like, man, that's kind of insane.
Romero's already 51 and he come on, he's got fake ID.
yeah, those guys.
He's like 60. He's like 60.
You know what?
No way.
I look like that at 51 then.
Congrats to him, man.
You know what? I think he's got one run left in him.
Yeah, if he learns how to wrestle in a UFC match.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
I think he's got a run left in him. Another one I'd like to see a lot more of is Costa. I'm not sure.
He doesn't fight frequently enough for me. I don't know why, but I'd love to see him fight. Like I think he might be fighting Whitaker next. I saw some stuff about that online, so I'm not sure if that's gonna.
How do you think that'll play out? I think Whitaker takes him to points and beats him.
Yeah, same. I think Whitaker is too smooth. I don't see Whitaker having a problem with Costa, to be honest.
No, do I? And it's the same with like Gastelum, and I don't see where the next real threat to Izzy comes. To be honest with you, I think.
Yeah, it's John Jones.
So do you put all 3 belts on the line here?
Yeah, you'd have to. John Jones become middleweight champ. Never fought at that weight in his life.
Imagine that happened in the boxing last weekend. Was it last weekend?
A few weekends ago with Lomachenko, you're talking about,
Gervonta
right?
Davis. No,
Oh,
Gervonta
Davis. Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh, with that
Yeah, yeah.
uppercut.
So he was fighting for a super featherweight and a lightweight. I think I'm right in that they weighed in on super featherweight. So
something like that.
How can you win both belts? So it's like
no, I think both of them put the belts on the line, but then I feel like Gervonta had both belts. I have no idea. Boxing,
it happens in boxing all the time. Where like
their belt system means absolutely nothing to me. I don't care.
You're fighting in one weight class, and then you're giving up belts for other weight classes, which doesn't make any sense at all.
And they have a weight class every like 4 pounds. There's a super lightweight, super lightweight, and there's welterweight, there's super welterweight, lower welterweight. Like I'm just like, okay, at this point,
it's just you eat a burger one day, you're in a new weight class. Like God, man,
just ridiculous.
And Dana's now bought into the Zafir boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Zafir boxing. Yeah.
So I can see, is it Clarissa Shields?
Yep.
I can see her fighting Amanda Nunes. She'll fight Amanda Nunes, MMA.
MMA, not boxing?
I don't know. It might do both.
Oh no, definitely not MMA. If she's had no MMA training, then there's no way you should put her in an octagon with
a valid point, actually.
Yeah, that's murder.
But yeah, I think there will be a lot of MMA going into boxing. Yeah, I think Dana will be putting a lot of shows on. To be honest with you, I hope so. I hope that they all come together and just do one belt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the champion faces the interim or number 2. Do you know what I mean? Not the champ facing someone as 15th or 16th, like sometimes they do.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
It should be one belt, you're the champ. So different organizations, I get it, like Bellator and UFC and ONE and stuff like that. I get that with boxing. Do you know what I mean? If they had the Sky and BT and DAZN, and do you know what I mean? I'd get that as promotions and organizations, but not the WBC, WBA, IBF, IBO, and it's like, you know,
it just gets confusing at some point, and you just want to say, okay, man, yeah, you're the champ, heavyweight, whatever, and you're champ in this division, that division. At least in the UFC, if you fight in a different promotion, that promotion's belt is usually washed, and you're judged on the UFC belt. But boxing doesn't really have that, as far as I know. But quick thing, how do people get a hold of you? Because we're 47 minutes in, and I want to make sure that people can get your socials.
So on my Instagram is G.E Nutrition, and on my Facebook is GE1 Nutrition. Someone's took my username.
We'll find them. Get Tom to beat him up, you know.
But yeah, I've got to change my name on there. I was about to say something there about that as well. This next weekend, I've got Robert Duran Jr. fighting over in America. So good luck to him. If you allocate him to listen to the podcast, make sure to share it.
Oh wait. So you work with him? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, Robert Duran. Yeah.
Oh, Robert Duran is like a boxing. I know you're working with his son, but Robert Duran is a boxing legend. I didn't know you're working with his son.
Roberto Duran, is the boxing legend. Yeah.
Roberto Duran. I don't know why I said Robert. Roberto Duran is what I meant to say.
And then I work with his son. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
wow.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
It's a little different, and I've got another boxer on. We're just waiting for the fight to be confirmed as well. So we're doing all right,
man. Big moves, Gethin. I know we believe in you, man.
Silent moves.
Exactly.
It's just moving in silence. It's just like dub here, W here, dub here, W here.
With lockdown, the second time around, it's been a bit more difficult with people not being able to go to the gyms because obviously gyms is closed. So it's been a little quieter. So I've been able to get a bit more time to the fighters that fighting in America and stuff. I mean, obviously time's a bit different, and it's like getting up a little bit early, make sure I have a phone call, and make sure everything's all right with training. So I'd say it's good. It's just as adapting to what we've been thrown at us, really.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good, man. I'm happy to hear that you're even working with boxers even in America. You're not limited geographically to where you are, man. That's really nice to hear. I'm happy for you.
Thank you very much. As I say, I just want to. I don't want to grow too quick. That's one thing I'm trying to hold on a little bit and do it properly. Because some people, I think, they go too big too quick and can't cope in the sense of, too many clients or too much pressure and stuff. And that's why I'm just picking and choosing in a way the amount of boxers and the amount of clients and MMA fighters and keeping it quite limited. And then over the period of time, this time next year we'll be talking. Hopefully we'll have a few handfuls. But
exactly. No, for sure.
Yeah,
we expect big things from you.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
hopefully we'll see you in Vegas or MSG or something.
Nah, don't worry. Just send me location. Just send me location. You find us there.
We'll have a little beer watching the fights. We'll discuss them. We'll do a live podcast from the arena.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're gonna be live streaming. Like, all right, guys, we are here in MSG or Las Vegas or Abu Dhabi. I'm here with Gethin. Let's have a beer. Let's go, boys.
And I'll say,
yeah.
better days are on the way. Even though it's been a terrible year, but you gotta stay positive and do that.
100%, man. Thank you very much for hopping on the podcast again. I know you're going to be back real soon with Billy once we reschedule with him, and it's been fun talking fights with you, man. We're happy you hopped on.
Yes, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Anytime you need me, I mean, only a message away. If you want to break any fights down any weeks, let me know. I watch every week, so I mean, I'd say it's early morning here, but my little alarm goes off to watch the main card and. Say anything you need, give me a shout.
Okay, thanks, man.
It's been a pleasure. Talk soon.
Thank you very much, boys.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the MMA Brothers Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please give us a follow on our socials. You can check out a description of this episode for more, but don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at MMA Brothers Pod. We'll see you on the next episode.